this message on Instagram. ESPN was looking to sponsor somebody for the Super Bowl. 2 weeks later, they had trucks, all this like Hollywood stuff in South Central. We were recording for the Super Bowl.
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
True Hustle Podcast. Damn, we have Teddy's Red Tacos. Teddy in the house. What's up, brother? How are you?
Good morning, good morning. Excited to be here.
Me too, brother. Where we all know Teddy's Tacos, the birria tacos are bomb. And we know you have multiple locations, right? But tell us a little bit about you. Where did you grow up?
Well, my story is pretty crazy. I was born out here in LA. And when I was younger, like probably 6, 7 years old, they took me to Mexico. So literally I grew up in...
What's it called? What part of Mexico?
Puebla.
Oh, Puebla, okay.
El sur de Puebla, Coatzingo, Puebla. So I grew up in Puebla, elementary, la secundaria, telesecundaria. If you know what that means, is they teach you go to a room, they put a TV, and with satellite, they'll give you the classes. So I got my schooling through that. So if you notice me, I kind of don't know much about life or something. It's because of that.
So you were 6 when you went over there?
Yeah.
And how was that, like, transition? Going from here to over there?
Yeah, imagine going from the city to a rancho. It was tough. Oh. Getting bullied, because you had the nice shoes. It wasn't even nice. It was Payless shoes. But it was, for probably the young kids don't know Payless.
That's what I was going to say. People are going to be like, Payless, what is that? I'm like, dude, I went to Payless. I had those shoes. Not the best quality.
But when you have Payless and people out there that only have huaraches or no shoes at all, you're like, oh, they look at you different. So it was challenging. It was challenging trying to cope with the new lifestyle. But it was nice. It was
different, huh?
Totally.
So then you were there from age 6
to pretty much 17, 18 when I came back.
And why did you come back?
My aunt invited me out, like, hey, Teddy, come to school out here, and you can, we have a house. And I didn't want to come, though. I like the rancho's lifestyle. I love it out there. We were good over there. We weren't rich, but we weren't poor either. Okay. So, but, my mom said, you know what, why don't you go out there and continue studying? And I said, okay.
So then when you got here, you started going to high school here?
High school.
Where?
And I started in HP.
No,
high school. Yeah.
You didn't, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I did 6.
Spartan, baby. Spartan.
Really?
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I went to HP.
Really?
I went to Miles. I went to all that. Actually, okay. Edwin Arroyave, he was just here.
Okay.
He's from Huntington Park. Jerry Garcia, the comedian, he's from Huntington Park.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know that.
But it's crazy because I lived in...
He went to HP too.
Oh, cool, man. Cool. I was living in South Central, though.
Okay.
So I had to go to Jeff, one of the ghettoest high schools. And I wanted to go there, because I heard so much bad stuff about it. I want to go. But I couldn't. So I had to find an address in HP and go to HP.
Spartans, baby.
Yeah. I was there for 6 months only, though.
And how was that? Now you were in Mexico for years, and then you're like, okay, it's time to go back. So how was that transition?
Even worse.
Híjoles.
Even worse because, I don't know. I knew a little bit of English, but I didn't know, like how to speak it fluently. So I had to come back out here, and, I was all bicep out, like I'll take off my shirt and my gold chain, and I thought it was cool, I thought it was cool, but they look at me kind of weird.
Todo con unbuttoned.
Yeah, my gold chain.
Chapo status with them.
I didn't know better.
Oh, man.
And it was hard, but I had my goals. I was just hungry. So, I needed to work and get back to my family. So I wasn't really focused with the high school stuff because I had goals to accomplish. So right away, I got a job in a 99-cent store opening boxes. And they were paying me like $50 a day. And
that was in high school?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So for me, it was a lot of money, you know, $50 a day.
For a high schooler back in 99 or was it 2000?
No, 2002, 2001, I believe.
Yeah. You know what? I think it was 2001.
2003, something like that.
Yeah.
Early 2000s. So, because compared to Mexico, working, you know, you work in the farm, you know, with a machete and with the tractor, you know, like, and you get paid, like, what, back then, maybe like $5 a day, working in el campo. So for me, working here in the 99-cent store with AC, with, oh, can you open this box? Can you unload it and put it there? And like, sure. What else you want me to do? I was sweeping, happy. The lady would invite me sodas and lunch. I'm like, man, this is amazing.
Compared to?
Yeah, like, man, compared to Mexico, I was busting, you know, like, busting my ass over there for a couple dollars in the sun, and I hated it. And here it's like way more money for less work. I'm like, hey, I want to do more of this.
And AC.
And AC.
You weren't sweating like over there.
I know. I was well dressed and stuff, so it was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So right away you were like, oh yeah, I think this is the place to be.
Yeah.
So then what happens after high school?
So I went to I'm always been in love with automotive.
Okay.
But my dad, crazy enough, he was a aviation mechanic before he left to Mexico. So my mom said, you know what? Why not go for that? Because automotive is cool, but you know what? Aviation, you might make more money. Mm-hmm. Even your cousin's doing it. He's doing good in Texas. I said, okay. So I did that, but my heart wasn't in it. So I went to school, and I passed my classes,
mm-hmm.
but my heart was never in it. So I came out of school, graduated. I went to West LA Community College.
Okay.
Out in Culver City, and started working in the airport, and then I started working in is it Torrance? It's called Robinson's Helicopters.
Okay.
Where they build helicopters. And I thought I had made it. I had made it because everybody was telling me, "Hey, Teddy, congrats! Wow, you made it and stuff." But deep down, I was like, "Have I really made it?" Because I wasn't happy. I wasn't content. So I was there working, and I would see other people that have been there for 20, 30 years. And I would look at their lifestyle, and I would look at their face expressions.
Angry.
They were angry. They were miserable.
Bitter, huh?
And I said, you know what? I don't want to end up like that. Even though right now it sounded good, I started dreaming, oh, I could buy a house, I can get a new car. You know, I was making, great money as a technician for helicopters back then.
And that was like in 2003, 2004.
Around there, I'm bad with numbers like that. But, I started looking for something different.
So you're like, this place, that person looks angry. Like, I don't want to be angry just being here working 25 years.
Yeah, because I will see, once you come into work with their lunch truck, with their loncherita, and they were just miserable. Driving like a beat up car. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm not sure.
Why do you think people do that to themselves? Knowing that, look, this is a job that I don't like. I don't like coming in, but I'm going to do it anyways. Like what?
That's a tough question.
What's the thought process behind that? It's just a question. To me, I think about that sometimes.
I think it's a tough question because sometimes circumstances, sometimes it could be, you're just fearful of what could happen, fearful of taking a risk.
I think risk is a big factor, huh? Because you're nice and secure in your job.
Yeah.
You have something guaranteed.
Right.
And the fact that if you were to leave that, you're in fear of the unknown. You don't know if you're going to get another check.
And for the most part, people are fearful for that. Yeah. I was talking to a friend that said, hey, let's start this, let's start that, let's do this. This is way before Teddy's, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, you know what? How much money would you make? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how much money we're going to make. We can make $100, we can make $1,000, we can make, $10,000 our first week. We don't know. he said, you know what? I don't know, because I needed to make at least $800 a week just to cover my expenses. So that mentality had him tied up to a job, even though he had the potential of achieving great things.
And he didn't take that leap.
Nope. So,
And do you still talk to this person?
Yeah.
And he sees your success?
Yes.
And what does he tell you?
But he's still working, though. He's like, I couldn't do what you do. It's like, yeah, you know what? I admire
He could have. He just decided not to take the risk.
Right.
Everybody has the ability to do great things.
True.
There's not one person that doesn't. We all possess the gift of life.
Right.
We get to wake up every day and we make choices.
Right.
And choices have consequences.
Exactly.
So, man, that was deep right there. Man, I just finished telling, who was I telling about choices? I said, listen, man, choices have consequences. We wake up every morning. The second we get up, we open our eyes. We're making choices.
Right. Yeah, you can choose to be happy or you can choose to be unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I choose to be happy every day. I choose to be grateful every day. Hey, you know what? It might not be the way I want it, but I'm grateful I had a chance to wake up again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's my mindset.
But it gives you that desire to be like, you know what? I'm gonna smile and I'm gonna go get it.
Right.
But it starts with mindset, and you're right. So how was your childhood? How's your relationship with your parents?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, my mom, you know, I'm grateful for the mom. She still is with me. And my dad, he lives in Mexico.
Okay.
So I go to see him quite often. And yeah, we have a good relationship.
That's good. So he wasn't like super machista and super like.
He was. You know, he was very, very strict.
Yeah.
That's the reason he took us to Mexico. He said, you know what? I don't want my kids to grow up here in LA and become cholos. So,
Oh, because over there it's back then.
Yeah.
It was like the cholo era, huh?
yeah, we used to live in Linwood next to Compton, by the Compton swap meet.
Oh, right there in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long Beach and Euclid. We used to live over there.
No, I own a property right there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So we grew up over there. And my dad just wanted us to go back to Mexico. And I think it was pretty cool because I don't know what could have happened if we would have stayed. I probably would have come, I don't know. But God works in very mysterious and interesting ways. That's what
Absolutely. I think so. I think everything is not by coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
It's already, it's God's plan.
Right. So.
All right. So you went to school. You didn't like the aviation part. So how did this Teddy's Red Tacos? I want to know how that thought came to mind. How you were like, oh, you know what? I don't like this. Teddy's Red Tacos. Like, how did that come about?
Well, from the aviation thing to Teddy's Red Tacos, a lot of things happened. It was probably like at least 10 years. 10 years, but I know I wanted to be my own boss. So I started attracting all these kind of businesses. I learned this company, I don't know if you probably heard about it, back then it used to be called Prepaid Legal Services.
No.
It's called Legal Shield now.
Okay.
So pretty much I was at the airport. We were in lunch and somebody gave me a DVD. Like, hey, you want to make some more money? Watch DVD. I said, okay, probably a scam or whatever, So I had that DVD at home. Mm-hmm. But I noticed my coworkers had the DVD at work. And one of the managers was like, hey, wow, like, you know what? He was really excited. And I asked him, hey, is that thing really working? He said, yeah, I already make $1,000 my first month. I'm like, no way. Sign me up, right? So I was excited to try this new venture. And it was about you selling insurance to people.
Oh, like life insurance?
No, it's legal insurance.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much, you get people to pay a monthly fee, so they have unlimited cost to an attorney.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that was what we used to sell. But the fact that got me so excited about this company was the whole personal development side of it. I have never been introduced to personal development. I've never been introduced to the audios, to the books of the self-help books.
Okay.
And when I got introduced to all that, my mind just blew away. I started reading the books like Think and Grow Rich. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I read it.
I'm sure you read it. You heard it by Napoleon Hill. You know.
Yeah, I read it.
Like wow. When I read it, I'm like wow.
It's like mind blowing, huh?
Wow. And then another book, you know, and the Jim Rohn and the Six Siglars and all these books. And I started getting addicted to this all this positive stuff, right?
And you were just absorbing everything.
Yeah, I would go to the library and just read books and download audios, and I would have my AirPods, and because I had something to dream, because I wanted my own business. I wanted to have, you know, like the nice cars, the nice houses. Mm-hmm. But being an aviation mechanic, for me, it was kind of hard to achieve that, especially seeing my coworkers, you know, like their lifestyle wasn't what I wanted.
Because they were bitter. They were like, you're like, I don't want that.
So for years, I was getting odd jobs. I was getting odd jobs here and there, but I was in my spare time. I was reading a lot of books. I was just feeding my mind with positive audios and started believing
self-development, like
for years. Okay. So that got me really excited to believe that it was possible. Even though I was reading, I was broke, man. I was 25, I was broke. I was 28, I was broke. But then all these audios started to make me believe that, hey, you know what, you could maybe start your own business. And back in 2011, maybe 2012, I started this little shipping company where I would take stuff from here, from LA, and I would sell it in Mexico. And I had a little store in Mexico that would go and get like deals here and like in downtown or whatever. And I would take it to Mexico, and then I will sell it over there, and then I will bring stuff from Mexico and I will sell it over here.
Oh, for sure, no way.
Yeah, I would bring like cheese, pan, mole, all this kind of stuff, and I would sell it here. And then, hey, by the way, I'm going in 2 weeks. If you want to send your family some stuff, some money, some phones, some iPads, let me know, and I will take it over there. And I'll let them know too. Hey, oh yeah,
so you can go from here to there to there?
Yeah.
Oh man, okay.
So I noticed there was a big opportunity with the ranchitos, pueblitos that humble people, they wouldn't have access to a city. So I said, what if we are able to provide those services? Hey, if you ship with us, I can I will take this to your parents directly. I'll send you a picture so you can see. I decided to take it the extra mile. I grab an iPad and I record the families out here that haven't been in Mexico for 10, 20, 30 years. And I record their house, their family, and I'll take it to the grandparents over there in Mexico. And do the same thing. So that got me a lot of popularity. Go to Teddy, you know, Teddy. So it went really, really good.
Wow.
And in the transition of that, I met this good friend in Tijuana, because I would end up in Tijuana, and then I would walk through the border and then, you know, try to cross the other stuff. He said, Teddy, you're pretty cool, man, but I don't see any real future in your little shipping business.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I was kind of like offended, you know, because that was like my baby. You know, I have people working for me, and I thought I had it made because I was probably working like 3 days out of the week and stuff. And the crazy thing is, I was comparing myself to the people in Mexico. Meaning, compared to the people in Mexico, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. You know, I'm making great money. Uh-huh. But compared to my friends here in LA, I'm broke. You know, I'm broke.
Pesos, US dollars. Ah, shit.
So when I realized that, I'm like, hey, you know, what am I comparing myself? Because if I want to be in Mexico, I'm doing good. You know, really, really good. But here, no. So he told me, Teddy, whenever you want to come by, I'll teach you how to cook birria. And I said, you know what, man, I appreciate it, but I don't like cooking. Birria is not my thing. And, I have my thing going on here, but I appreciate it, Well, okay, cool. We still became buddies, and we're good friends, right? Maybe, I don't know if you say fortunately or unfortunately, God had a different purpose, right? Mm-hmm. Something mysterious happened. I had a girlfriend. Uh-huh. We had a kid together, and I thought everything was going to be great, and things didn't work out the way I expected.
Okay.
Right? So I was already mentally seeing myself being a dad, being, having, a family, going to kids' parties, all this kind of stuff.
Doing the little shipping stuff and
with my family. I already had figured out a way so I wouldn't have to travel anymore. I hired somebody to do the traveling for me, and I would just deliver it here in LA.
Oh, okay. So you had a
plan. I kind of
like
figured out.
Said, like, I'm gonna be married.
Right.
The married life.
Long story short, things didn't work out, and I fell in depression because I couldn't make this relationship work. She had postpartum depression, and it was really, really tough. Really, really tough. It went from amazing to bad to worse. To horrible to yeah. So I couldn't believe that was happening to me. I stopped working. I stopped answering my phone. I started drinking. I started drinking a lot. And I started pawning my stuff, like the little stuff that I had, my gold chain, took it to a pawn shop in East LA. I had a nice gold bracelet, everything, man. And my mom was really disappointed of me, and like, oh, you don't want to work, you just get out of here.
Because the actual depression was just taking a toll on you.
I couldn't get up out of bed, I couldn't get out. I couldn't. So I said, what am I going to do? Like I can't go to work. I don't want to, I couldn't get up. So what am I going to do? So you know what? I'll go to Mexico with my dad. I'll go to Mexico. You know what? I'll be there sometime. I'll figure things out, and I'll come back. But I said, you know what? I can't go back to Mexico. I'm broke. I'm depressed. My dad's going to be talking shit to me. I can't go over there.
The Mexican is going to come out of him.
Yeah, because you have to go back successful. You have to go back, being able to provide for your parents. And I have no money. So, and then I said, you know what? Oh, I'm going to go to my friend in TJ. Let me call him up. Let me see if this guy was serious about teaching
you the birria game.
He could have been anything. He could have been a carpenter, a drug dealer, anything. But he's the one that invited me to his house. He's the one that opened the doors for me. So I called him up and like, hey, bro, were you serious about having me over? And like, yeah, cállate, vente. All right. So I went to TJ. This happened back in, I think, 2015. 2015, and
it's like 8 years ago.
Yeah, it was humiliating for me. It was bad, man. It was bad because his wife didn't know me. They have little kids, like 6 little kids.
So, you went over there and you stayed with them?
Yes.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yes.
So you were living with them over there?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Shit. Okay.
And it was horrible because they had little kids. Right, and I met this guy drinking. We met like drinking somewhere, and out of a sudden I call him. I show up, and the wife's looking at me like, "Who the hell is this guy? Who the hell is this guy?" Yeah. So it had to be, I was sleeping on the sofa, and it was uncomfortable. I had to wake up at 4 a.m. because the way they cook over there, the way the birria taco stands in Tijuana, it's different. It's like super early in the morning. You cook in the house, and you have to load up everything to the truck, drive it to the puesto where you sell, unload everything, put the tents, clean up the sidewalk, and set up your shop. So you have to wake up early So imagine you're depressed. I couldn't sleep. I had to wake up at 4 in the morning. So it was bad. It was bad. But you know what? I think God put him in I believe in angels, and I believe he put him in my journey to get me out of my depression, because I was thinking of doing drugs or something just to kill my pain. But good thing I didn't have any money. You know, you need money to do drugs. I had no money. I don't know, but you need money. So he would encourage me, Teddy, like, stop drinking. Ponte las pilas, cabrón. Come on.
And even though you were there, you were still drinking every day.
Mm-hmm. I was drinking a lot.
That just made everything 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drinking.
I was just drinking. Like, he'll be like, hey, come on, let me show you how to cook. I'm like, okay, whatever. I was like, I don't care. Like, you know, oh, you get this. Okay, try it out now. Okay. And my heart wasn't in it, to be honest. But little by little, I said, you know what? Well, maybe this thing can work out. And I started kind of like believing again. I started having faith.
That's important.
Having faith, and I called my mom and I told her I was gonna come back. And it was humiliating coming back too, because I'm the oldest of 4 brothers.
Okay.
At the moment we were staying in an apartment in East LA. So, you know, like, imagine, like, you're coming back from TJ with no money. You spend a year with doing what, right? So I got a sister, another sister, and my younger brother. So they're looking at me like I'm a loser. I was already 30 years old, depressed, broke, and with a bad relationship that I had. So in my mind, I was devastated. In my heart, I was broken, because, and especially, well, how I was raised as the oldest of the family, you have to be the example. You have to provide. You have to lead by example, and had failed in all those ways. So it was tough. I had a lot of anger too. A lot of anger towards myself, towards my ex, towards my dad. I was blaming my dad because, you know, for not being successful.
Oh, you started pointing
fingers at everybody.
Huh?
At everybody. But my life was bad too. So I met this nun, and she invited me to church in East LA.
Oh man.
And she started, we became friends. She was really, really nice. She's like, hey, start asking for forgiveness. I'm like, but why? Forgive. Look at yourself in the mirror and forgive yourself, Teddy. I'm like, no, I couldn't. That was the hardest things to do. I tried it. I asked for God's help because I had a lot of anger. The first person I tried to forgive was my ex, because I had that anger that I couldn't.
Because you were blaming her. Like, you're the reason why I
ended up in this, and ended up in TJ. Like, I hated TJ because I was sleeping in the sofa, waking up at 4 a.m, and
you're making birria.
Like, yeah, I don't like to cook. So I forgave her, and when I did that, I felt this something release, something like that was holding me down,
and like a weight off your off your shoulders.
And then I forgave myself. And you know what's crazy? And then I said, you know what? Okay, I have nothing and anything else. God, what do you want from me? What do you want me to do? Like, I'm here for you. Like, you tell me what to do. And that those things started giving me clarity.
Oh man.
You know, yeah. and faith. And I started listening to the audios again, like the Les Brown audios. It's possible. Don't give up. Keep trying. And I started getting motivated again. I started getting excited about life. I started dreaming again. What if it's possible? What if it works? What if it's possible? Well, you know, I know this recipe. What if we try it out? I said, okay, well, I need to make money. I need to work. So I convinced my mom to give me a car. because I wasn't.
And you were 30 at the time.
Yeah, or probably 31.
31.
You know, so it's kind of embarrassing to be 30 in your 30s. You're broke. You're walking to church. You know, like I was walking to a library in East LA because you know, like I needed to spend my time putting something positive in my mind so I can get going. So my mom started noticing. I was like, "Hey, you're different now. You're different." So she got me a car. I started driving for Uber and for Lyft. I was driving like crazy, putting non-stop hours, like just crazy. I was getting odd jobs. Hey, you know, I would go on Craigslist. Hey, we need somebody to go move this stuff for $200. Hey, I'll go and move it, whatever they want me to do, and I'll go drive. And so I was on it. I was paying people the money that I owed, and little by little I started getting hopes and excitement of life. But pretty much one of the things that got me out of depression was all those audios, believing that if other people have overcome it, that I was able to overcome it myself. And also with God's help. I said, hey, you know what? What happened to you doesn't mean you're a failure. You failed, but doesn't mean you're a failure. So I started talking to myself in a whole different way. Say, hey, Teddy, it's okay. Everybody goes through this. The question is how you're going to react to it. Are you going to give up because she didn't want to be with you? Or are you going to like strive and continue moving forward? Because you're only 30 years old. So I started talking to myself in a very different way that I was blaming others. So once I started speaking to myself with, hey, you know what? No, come on, we have things to do. We have to get on it. A lot of great things started happening. So, yeah, man. Going back to, this is back in 2016. And I started, I was working with Uber, getting random jobs. I was trying to come up with my whole setup for the birria. Okay. So like my blender, my little ollita. I remember I had a ollita that I bought at Costco. Like, I had two. A little one and a little big one. Hey, whenever I get busier, like a little big one. And I started buying it and I started giving free samples. Like, hey, try it out. Because I had never cooked before. And my friend just showed me how to, hey, ponle esto, try it. Okay.
So it's not like you went to culinary school. You just went to TJ school.
I went to, I was depressed. I was looking for a way out. And since we met drinking, he was my drinking buddy over there. I was just looking for a way out. So I didn't went to, he's successful in the birria game. Let me get this business idea and plan. Let me write the recipe, come back to LA. And no, because I got friends and family here that they have businesses, they have tacos, and they've been in business for years. It's very disrespectful to go to somebody and, hey, show me your recipe. Show me how you cook. You can't be doing that. That's disrespectful. At least in our culture. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't go to my friend and, hey, show me how to do this. No.
Hey, how do you make that carne asada?
Yeah.
What seasoning do you use, bro?
You just can't.
Yeah.
That's why I said, you know what? Maybe God put him in my path because he had a bigger purpose. Because somebody doesn't just, here. No.
Yeah, this is like some movie type stuff, huh?
It's crazy, man. Looking back, it's like I wasn't looking for that for a birria. I don't know how to cook. He taught me, hey, do this, and this, and you get that. Okay, cool. And then I tried it here. I tried it different because he has a special blender, special ollas, like the size of this table, and I had like little ollita.
So you went from the jumbo one and TJ to the que está 39.99. No hay pedo con esta la hacemos.
Like because he couldn't come out here. He never tried my birria. So I never took my birria so he can try it. So I had to mix, like the challenge was the big proportions, making the small proportions, and to get it right. So I don't know if I did something right or wrong, but okay, maybe this. Okay, I like it like this instead. And this is going to be the way we're going to do it. And I focused on that. I got it on lockdown, the recipe that I wanted to use. And when I thought I got it, I started giving free samples to people. And people were like, hey, Teddy, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. I'm like, oh, thanks. We should start selling it. Like, how? Where? I don't know. Just get a table. And set up a shop in like in LA or something. You know what? It was embarrassing for me.
No way.
It was embarrassing. I was dealing with that challenge of, because back then, now it's normal, but back then, to put up a taco shop, a taco stand in the street was like, oh, mira, he's doing bad. Yeah.
Oh, that's when you had the tias and the tios and the neighborhood people be like, ay, pobrecito.
Actually, a close cousin of mine.
It's always a fucking cousin.
A cousin.
Sorry.
You know, I had a cousin talking all this about me. But you know what? I needed that. I needed that say anger? Not anger, but that.
I just think it probably gave you like a chip on your shoulder, like, oh, see, way? Okay.
Because
Órale, pues.
once I decided to put the taco stand, which is in October 2016, he criticized me, right? Oh, he called my buddies in Mexico, and he's like, oh, el Teddy, ahí anda valiendo. Ahora ya vende tacos, el cabrón. Ahí anda el pobre vendiendo tacos. Because if you know, I can send you pictures. It was really humble. It was really one table, like a little olla, you know, like napkin holder from the 99-cent store, the little cuchillo from the 99-cent, everything from the 99-cent store, everything. So it wasn't like, oh, I went to the restaurant and got all expensive stuff. No, I was broke, man.
Not like,
I was broke.
oh, man. Oh, I love this. Okay.
And the name, you know, I got the pictures too. The name, how did I come up with the name, right? No, my first billboard. My little brothers had a little a little white board.
Uh-huh.
They had used it, and it was just laying there in the room. And they had wrote on it, and I grabbed it, and I cleaned it with, I think, alcohol or something, and I put Teddy's Red Tacos on it. And I put a special 3 tacos por $5. And I got pictures of the sign.
Oh, you're going to send it to us so we can add them here.
Yeah. So that was my first, like my first board. It was only $1, which I didn't pay for it.
I took it from your brother.
And you know what? It's crazy because when I got invited to sell tacos, this lady had a factory, a sewing factory, and she said, "Teddy, I like your birria. You should come sell it in my warehouse to my people. I got like 60 employees, so you can do probably pretty good."
Oh shit! Okay.
I said, I got excited. I told my mom, "Hey, help me out. You know what? We got, Maria has her name is Maria. Maria has 60 workers, and we can do good. You know, we sell the special, $5 a special. That's 60. That's $300 plus drinks and whatever. We sell the caldos. You know,
Yeah.
and we could do good. You know." They said, "Okay, let's go." And for, como se dice, para nuestra buena suerte, none of them bought. None of them bought tacos with us. They went and bought menudo from other places, and they sat down next to us, eating their food while watching us. And like, my mom was devastated. My mom was like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do?"
Tanta comida que tenemos.
Yeah. And even then, I had to be positive. I had to be optimistic. I had to sell the dream to my mom, even though I had no idea where the money was going to come from or the sales were going to come from. "Oh, no se preocupe, ma. Todo va a estar bien. Todo va a estar bien." And the next day, it was on a Saturday. Well, we heated the food, and those people wouldn't even come to eat with us, right? So I said, "What am I going to do? I have all this food. I got all this time. Let me get creative." So I got the food. Like, and I said, hey ma, come grábeme, record me. So I would take out the olla and the caldito, you know, like, hey, let me record me doing this. Okay, let me record me doing that. So I started putting the caldito in the taco. Okay. So now I got content. This is before even all this stuff, right? So I got people that I knew from my previous businesses. I would send them messages on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Instagram. I was spamming people. Hey, come try the birria. Vengan a probar la birria aquí en Los Ángeles. And I was just sending people like videos, the directions, and the hours. And people, little by little, started showing up. It was crazy. And then I would put the olla and stuff in the trunk of the car, and I'll continue driving for Uber and for Lyft. So throughout the
man,
yeah, because
sí se puede, compa.
No excuses, yeah.
Oh,
no excuses. Because if you really want it bad enough, you can either make excuses or you can make money, but you can't make both. So I was going to get back on my feet and provide for my family. So I couldn't. There was no days off. It was no relaxing. I couldn't relax. People invited me out. Hey Teddy, come have a beer. And no, I could. What am I celebrating? I'm broke. I'm 30 years old. I'm over 30 years old and I'm broke. And I can't be in a bar drinking. I can't be hanging out. No, I need to get my stuff together, so then I can have a beer. So I got really, really strict with my goals, with my dreams.
Good.
And that's what I did for 9 months. For 9 months,
So you went to the shops, to Maria's shop, and you were
on the weekends,
there,
yes.
And then were you selling during the week too?
During the week, I was working for Uber and Lyft.
And then on the weekends, you would sell?
Yes, then I would sell on the weekends. And at night, I would go drive again, try to get some extra cash, like downtown or Santa Monica and stuff.
I hope young kids are going to see this episode.
So I wasn't hanging out. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't partying. The money I was making, I was either paying debt or trying to save up the little money I could. And since I was listening to a lot of audios, like, it's possible. Don't give up, Teddy. Don't give up. This friend showed up and he said, hey, Teddy, how serious are you about your goals? I told him, I'm very serious. I want to get a food truck or a restaurant. He said, I have a food truck that I'm going to sell. Do you want it? I'm like, yes. How much you want for it? He said, I want $55,000. I'm like, for me, that was a lot of money. Like $55,000. Like, how much can I give you? He said, give me $15,000. I still didn't have $15,000. So give me a few months. I said, no, I need to get it done like now. Give me a few months. Let me come up with the money. Let me come up with a game plan. So I stopped paying the car, the car that I was using for Uber. Mm-hmm. So I stopped paying it. And then I said, what if I ask people, 15 people, for $1,000? So, hey, let me borrow $1,000. Let me borrow $1,000. What if I borrow $500 from 30 people? So I just got excited. I said, because my family wasn't supporting me anymore. My cousins and my friends, they look at me as a loser. Because I'm going back over 30 years old. I'm selling tacos and I'm driving for Uber. I had nothing really good going on. And they thought I was a loser because I had a career. I had everything good going on for me. And I chose to go a different path. So they look at me like, oh, Teddy, it's...
Yeah, well, you left your aviation job to follow this little taco stuff.
Right.
That's how they seen it, right?
Right. So I said, you know what? No excuses. I'm going to come up with the money. And 2.5 months later, in July 2017, we opened the first food truck for Teddy's or Tacos on the railroads.
How was that? How was that for you? Did that make you feel like
accomplished? Shit. I'm like, wow. But you know what's crazy? Something even crazier. That the location I chose. The location, it was full of bumps. It's on Slauson, on old railroads. The train doesn't pass anymore. But that location, was there for years, right? So when I was doing the deal I was in the taco stand and I was doing the deal for those 2 months, I got nervous and I got excited. Because I look at the location and I will see gold. It was crazy because you see old railroads, dirt.
It's right there before Western on Slauson.
It's before the 110 between Central and Avalon.
Oh yeah,
and McKinley.
Yeah.
There's a lot of homeless people. It's ugly. It was, it's still ugly and stuff. So, but I saw gold. I saw a gold mine. I'm like, wow, like if I can park my food truck on the railroads, I can set up my tents. I'll have free parking. I have all this stuff. Like, wow, this is amazing. I want that spot. So when I got the truck in July, I put my truck there, right? Hoping that everything was going to work out. No, things didn't work out the way I expected. Because cops started showing up. Hey, you need to get out of here. I'm like, why? You can't park. You can't park on the railroads. It's illegal. It's a federal crime that you park on the railroads. Officer, but there's no train. I don't care. Get out. So that wasn't going to discourage me. I was too far along to get discouraged by cops or anybody else. I wasn't going to get up. No. So I was promoting it on every social media I could, but people weren't coming by, right? It was a beat up truck on the railroads. That's it. Nothing crazy about it. Nobody.
So do you think because of the location and the way the truck looked?
No, because you know what? It wasn't luck. It wasn't none of that. Because there was more food trucks on Slauson. There's a lot of food trucks right now. And they've always been there. Trucks has been there for 5, 10, 20 years with really, really good food. So here I come, Teddy's Red Tacos, another truck that's beat up, trying to compete against all these giants, right? My question was, how am I going to compete with these giants? They don't know me. I only have this recipe that someone taught me, and that's it. How am I going to compete? It's cool, yeah, it's cute, yeah, a nice recipe, right? It's cute. But that doesn't make you nothing special. At least that's what I was thinking. So I said, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I was constantly asking myself, how can I do it better? How can I make it faster? How can I get a wow experience from my customers? How can I get a wow? And I read this book about the magic of thinking big.
Okay.
And something that I got from it is go the extra mile. I always go the extra mile. And I decided that was going to be my philosophy in business, going the extra mile. Greet people with an attitude of gratitude. Greet them with a big smile. Hi, welcome to Teddy's. Thank you for stopping by. Hi, guys, welcome to Teddy's Red Tacos. Thank you for stopping by. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on providing people with the best experience ever. So when I remember this gentleman came by, paisa, ranchero el señor, and he's like, hey, quiero un burrito de asada. Jefe, le digo, no vendemos burritos. Oh, ¿qué chingados venden? Vendemos birria. Oh, pues dame birria, pues así, en un plato, con tortillitas a mano y todo. Jefe, disculpe, no vendemos birria de chivo. Pues no, sabes que no quiero nada. Digo, jefe, permítame, pruebe el caldito, yo se lo invito, y pruebe este taco. So I learned how to change people's negativity into something positive. So he was negative, he was mad because he wanted a burrito, and then he wanted birria de chivo, and then I said, you know what, just try this. If you don't like it, don't pay for it. He tried the taco, and like, wow, esta madre está buena. Vieja, vente vieja, dame 4 y 2 calditos. Claro que sí, jefe. Yeah, they're all excited, Tenga. So I would take the food to them because I had no sales. I had nobody there, It was just me. It was just me in the truck. So like, hey, ¿qué le pareció? ¿Está bueno? ¿Sí le gustó?
You want to fill out the survey?
I was everything. The cashier, the cook, the janitor. So I started doing that little by little, man. Little by little. Everybody, I would get excited somebody to show up and buy food from me. Because we're in the biggest market of LA. For food, this is the hardest market. And for you to come eat at my food truck, my attitude was, wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. That's why I came up, my hashtag is attitude of gratitude. Because I've been grateful for anybody that shows up to Teddy's. I'm beyond grateful. And I've been since the beginning. So I remember this other guy showed up to the truck and he was taking pictures. And I'm looking at him, you know, I'm inside. I'm like, wow, this guy's taking pictures. Let me go talk to him. Let me just, I got nothing to do.
Yeah.
You know, I have nothing to do. I'm just there. Like,
Look, there's only one person here.
Hey, he's taking pictures. Hey, hey, ¿cómo andamos? Good. I'm here taking pictures. And we started talking. We have this relationship. And he started telling me, hey, you know what? I take pictures for fun, for food. And you're the first person that takes their time to come talk to me. Oh, cool. I'm just full. I had nothing to do. I was kind of bored, actually. But I took my time to be there with him. And he said, you know, I want to refer you to more people. And I'm like, oh, cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So long story short, I kept having that attitude. I kept working little by little. The business, you know, like started, you know, just, well, it wasn't like it was taking off, but.
And were people supporting you at that point, or were people were still giving you the cold shoulder, like your family, like, oh, tiene su, you know? At that point with like the truck.
Oh, no, they weren't.
So they were.
Actually, the customers that I had at my taco stand stopped coming. Why? Because when I had the taco stand, I had a special, 3 tacos por $5, and unlimited caldito and unlimited tostadas. So I had these big guys who come like on Saturday morning, all crudos, and they, hey, dame, you know, there was 5 people. Oh, dame 5 especiales. Oh, dame más caldo. Dame más tostadas. So for $5, they were like milking it, right?
Yeah.
But okay, well, I'm like, oh, well, this is all I have. You know, this is my only customer. So okay, whatever. So when I got the truck, I took that special out and I come with the new special. Came out with the deluxe plate. The
Limited tostadas.
Now only get 3 tostaditas.
Yeah.
And 1 caldito. That's it. If you want a caldito, you have to pay, I think, $1 back then. More tostadas, an extra $1. And the deluxe plate was now $10. You get a little quesadilla, a little molita, a little taquito, and a little tostada with, con carne with the caldito and the chips and salsa for $10.
Okay.
So my old customers, they're like, oh, wow, ya te subió. Oh, now you charging double. Like, oh, but I'm giving you this and this. Now I have to pay for the food truck, pay for the parking, for the food truck insurance, and oh no. Everybody stopped coming. I was like, what am I going to do? You know, so, but knowing what I've known, it's like, okay, I'm not going to give up. I'm not a quitter. Quitters don't win and winners don't quit. So I kept that attitude of, okay, vámonos. I remember my mom showed up to help me, and I started, she's like, you know what, I'm going to make some tacos. Hey, hágame unos tacos. And we did a whole bunch of plates, all these plates, like 10 plates. Like, hey, who's this food for? I want to go promote it. My mom couldn't understand like the whole promotion thing. Oh, ¿vas a arreglar comida? Like, no. Voy a promover. ¿Cómo? ¿Te van a dar dinero o no? Well, there's no money involved, but I want people to try it. Ay, Teddy, estás bien mal tú, que no sé qué. ¿Cómo? Like, no estamos haciendo dinero y aparte tú estás regalando la comida. So it was like, for her, it didn't make any sense. But for me, I'm like, hey, I'm just exposure. I want people to try my food. So I grab all this food and start going to the mechanic shops, to the all kind of shops, repair shops, mechanics, smoke shops. And little by little, people started showing up too. Like, oh, wow, probé tu birria, está bien buena tu birria. Dame un deluxe, dame otro deluxe, dame unos taquitos. So the word started getting around in the hood that the food was good. So going back to this guy that was taking pictures, he said, "I want to send you somebody," right? I said, "Okay, cool." A couple of days later, this couple girls showed up, and I didn't know who they were because they were like a mess, and there was no people that day. So same thing. Hey, ¿qué van a comer? Okay, unos taquitos. Okay, yo se los llevo. So I cooked the food. I took it to them, and talked to them for a little bit, and just went back inside. And then back then they would eat, and then they would pay once they were finished, kind of like a restaurant. And like, hey Teddy, you know what? Thank you for the food. The food was amazing, but the service, you treated us like a 5-star restaurant. Oh, thank you, appreciate you. This happened to be Patty Rodriguez. I don't know if you heard about her. She used to work or works, I don't know, for Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, okay.
He like, my brother told me about your food, and I love the food, and I would like to put you in the radio with Ryan Seacrest. I'm like, oh, cool. And like, oh, yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, here's my number. I had no idea who Ryan.
You don't know who Ryan was?
I don't know who's Ryan Seacrest. Like I didn't know, like, Patty. Oh, I had no idea, right? I just know she tagged me and started getting followers, and like I had no idea who they were. But a couple of days later, they call me and like, hey, what's going on, Teddy? This is Ryan Seacrest. I heard you got some amazing tacos in your food truck. Like, yeah, like, okay, you have 30 seconds. Go ahead and promote it. I'm like, hey guys, this is Teddy from Teddy's Red Tacos. Come try the best birria tacos in LA. My address is 731 East Slauson, and I'll see you here, guys. You heard it, guys. There's Teddy. Go flip the truck around. And boom, right? So it was pretty cool. A whole bunch of people, detectives, doctors started showing up out of nowhere. I'm like, wow, it's pretty cool. So I had to hire some people to help me out. My mom, my sister.
Just like that.
Yeah. But it was those steps that got me, that got me to that. Because if I didn't have that attitude of, you know what, I don't care. There's only one person. I don't care. But you know what, let me do something different. Let me go talk to that person. Let me be polite. Let me smile to that person. So that person connected me to another person. And I wasn't being judgmental. I'm like, I treated everybody like $1 million customer. And that opened to one door to another, to another, to another.
And do you still talk to her? Patty? What is it?
I'll see her here and there, but it wasn't like we had like a relationship. No, it was just, they'll show up, they'll eat, and that's it, It was crazy because I think maybe God puts angels in your path to help you accomplish your dreams and goals if you have the right mindset and the right attitude.
The attitude of gratitude. Mm-hmm. I love that. So then how do you go from, lunch truck, I was on Ryan Seacrest, like, oh man, how do you go from that to transitioning to, now I want to open my own restaurant?
So that got me pretty excited with Ryan Seacrest. That got me a great boom. But I kept on working because that was a good boom, but that wasn't enough to stay in business, right? Mm-hmm. So you had to keep that attitude, keep that excitement, keep pushing forward, keep always trying to go the extra mile, trying to be innovative. And we started getting a lot of press on Yelp, on Google, like the best tacos, 5 stars, on the magazines. And out of nowhere, we get a call from this artist. Her name is Chrissy Teigen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they give us a call. Hey, we were wondering if you can come cater to Chrissy Teigen tomorrow for Taco Tuesday. Sure. Yeah. So I have no idea who she was. My food truck was all beat up, So I said yes. Without even knowing. I took the chance, and I went for it. We went to Beverly Hills. My truck. That day, I prayed so much. I prayed, come on, God, please. I had my foot pedal, my pedal, my foot on the pedal all the way down, and the truck was barely going up.
You was struggling.
I was sweating. I sweat so much that day because I was up in the hills in Beverly Hills. It had no signal. I was running late because the truck wouldn't go. And the truck was like, making weird noises, weird smells. I was like, please, God, please just let me just
get over the hill.
Once the transmission breaks down there, I don't care. I just, but just let me make it. So we did make it. We barely made it. And we got there late. And, I apologized to them and stuff. And I came up with a great idea. And I said, hey, listen, please tell Chrissy that I want to talk to her. He said, no, she's not. She's busy. It was her assistant. I told her, hey, listen, I want to do something. I want to take a picture with her, and I would love for her to post it on her social media. And I wouldn't charge her anything for the event. I just want one picture.
Genius. Oh, shit. Teddy's a marketing genius.
I don't really. I don't know.
Continue. I'm all into the story right now.
So I'm like, okay, let me go talk to her. So she went there. 30 minutes passed by. I'm like, fuck, nobody, nothing's happening. Like, yes, no, I'm nervous. And Chrissy walks out. Hey guys, I heard you want to take a picture with me. Sure. Okay, let's take a picture. Where? Okay, we took a picture. She posted on her social media, and boom, right? It was another boom, crazy boom, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool, right? So everybody was talking about it and stuff, and a few months afterwards, this is a couple of years later, in 2019, I remember, I got this message on Instagram. This company that looks for talent or whatever sent me a message telling me, hey, Teddy, I still got the message. I just found it.
No way.
Yeah, from 2019, asking me if I was interested in ESPN was looking to sponsor somebody for the Super Bowl, if I was interested in being a participant. And when I read that, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But what if it's a scam or something, right? I was concerned about that. What if,
Which is valid.
Yeah.
Because you have a bunch of fucking scammers out there.
Right. So I was thinking, what if something like that happens? But then, what if it's possible? What if, I started, my personal development started kicking in. Hey, well, what if it works? What if it's possible? What if it's true? What if it's real? So I replied to them and said, yes, I'm interested. Here's my phone number. So they call me back. They did a conference call from New York to San Francisco, and hey, Teddy, we're excited to have you, and we're excited for this project because we want to promote this Latino. We read your story, and you came from TJ, from Uber, driving for Uber, and you catered to Chrissy Teigen. You came on the radio. You're in the top 10, from LA, and we want to do this project with you. I'm like, the first question came to my mind: how much is it going to cost me? Because I was waiting for the pitch.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we do all this great. We just need your credit card, I was waiting for that. Like, no, Teddy, we don't need anything from you. We'll send, if you approve it, we'll send you the contract and you sign it over, and it will pay you for your time. If you cater to us, we'll pay you for catering as well. I'm like, no way. Let's do it. Let's do it. So like 2 weeks.
You don't need my credit card info? Okay, I'm in.
Yeah. You don't need nothing from me. Let's do it. Whatever you guys want to do, I'm down. 2 weeks later, they had trucks, all this like Hollywood stuff in South Central. We were recording for the Super Bowl. 2 weeks later.
Which Super Bowl was it?
2019. What was it?
Who plays 2019?
You got me off guard there.
Well, it doesn't really matter, but
yeah, Rams were playing.
Oh, that's when the Rams played.
Yeah, play out in Georgia.
Patriots.
They played the Patriots, and the Rams lost 7-3.
13-3.
I mean 13-3. Shit. Sorry, Rams fans. Shit. So that was the one.
Yeah, so that was the one. And then I asked him, why did you guys chose me? Or how did you guys, how? I'm just curious, how? He said, no, well, we went to 2 other states before we came to California. Really. We went to Georgia. We searched for talent. We searched for something interesting, and nothing interesting really caught our attention. So we came back to Texas, and really nothing really stood out. So when we came to LA, you came among the top 10, like the best tacos, all this press that you had going on, that you came on the radio, that you catered Chrissy Teigen, and everything was like we want to share this story, we want to sponsor this story, because you wanted something like a Latino like underdog, and that's how we got sponsored for the Super Bowl in 2019.
That's a dope story.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
we're gonna make that into a reel. Like we go. This is good. It's good stuff.
So, long story short, man, got another food truck. Then we partner up with my business partner out in Venice, and turned that restaurant into a Teddy's by the beach.
So that was the first one.
The first restaurant
in Venice.
Mm-hmm. But my partner already had it. So we
just turned it into a
So
Teddy's.
I had no experience, nothing. I was just like, hey, you know what, let's do this.
So it was no capital investment. It was just like, hey, I have the location. We're just going to put Teddy's Red Tacos.
Right. This is going to be, so, okay, like he's going to run it. He's going to do all the work. Okay, cool. So I had 3 locations prior to pandemic. I thought I was doing good. I had my food truck, my restaurant in Venice. Then I opened another food truck in Echo Park. And I thought I was doing good. I was traveling once a month and all this cool stuff. But pandemic.
So at this time, you were already making money, a lot of money.
No,
compared to like when you first started.
Right.
Yeah, so now it's like, okay, I'm starting to see money. Okay,
right.
Good.
So it's like, okay, it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool.
All right.
it's pretty cute.
I need a Lamborghini. Hey, relax.
So pandemic hits, right? And it was something crazy because I got COVID. And when COVID hit me, I was in bed and I was reflecting in life, and I was reflecting in my job and my business, and I started asking myself, hey, Teddy, have you really done everything you could have done? And I said, no. Have you really given it your 100%? I said, no. Realistically, I was probably working at a 30% capacity. So I said, well, if I get another chance coming out of this COVID, because I was very fearful. I was afraid. I don't know what was going to happen. People were dying. You're watching the news. Yeah. Everybody was dying. So I said, you know what? If I get another chance, God, I'm gonna hit it hard. So that's what happens. Came out of COVID, and I came out with a game plan of opening more locations and getting serious with my life. And this is mid-July. We had 3 locations, mid-July 2020. By December 2021, we had 11 locations.
Wow.
Opened up. That's
a big jump.
It was crazy.
But it's just that you reflecting on that, because I got COVID too. I got COVID a lot of times, but the first time was probably the hardest. So it's like it made you reflect, like, dude, like, this is one life. You have one life, but you could give it, if you give it 100%, you could do a lot.
Right.
And then you started questioning, like, am I giving it 100%? And if the answer was no, it's like, man, just let me live.
Right.
And I will give it 100%. That's powerful.
That was my attitude. So I got serious about my goals. I got serious about my dreams, and I started getting focused once again when pandemic hit. So
because you felt maybe that you were getting a little bit. Now you have the Venice location, and you were having the other food trucks. You think you got a little bit.
I got comfortable.
Content.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. So I needed something to shake me up.
Okay.
And I'm grateful that happened, because it woke me up. I said, you know what, we can still do more. And we got it. We hit it hard. So I was doing construction. I was painting the restaurants. I was just excited and clean the restaurants. They were calling me, hey, Teddy, you got this location. Where? Up in Whittier. Send me the address. How much they want for it? Okay, it makes sense. Tell them yes. Hey, they want this other by Hollywood. Send me the address. Okay, how much? Okay, it makes sense. Let's get it. So I'm not nothing special. I'm like, when opportunity shows up, I'm like, does it make sense? Yes. Okay, let's do it.
Well, I think you do have a special quality. You didn't quit. You never quit. Shit got rough, and you didn't quit. Your faith got tested. You didn't quit.
True.
Everything came at you, and you did not quit.
True.
So to me, that is a great quality.
Well, thank you.
Because we all go through shit. There's not one human being that does not go through their trials and tribulations. Everybody goes through shit. It's how you handle it.
Right.
If you get punched in the face, you can either fucking stay your ass down.
Right.
Or you get back up. You might get punched again. I got punched a lot of times. But I keep on getting up. Doesn't matter to me.
Right.
I get up. I'm a fighter. I'm always in a fight. But it has a lot to do with the way I grew up. I've been through so much shit that some of the things that I go through now, I'm like, come on, man.
Right.
It's nothing. So
yeah, it's like when life hits, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna cry about it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, your girl left you. Okay, cry. That's fine. You can cry all you want, but once you're done crying, get up and come on, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, you've been drinking. I used to drink. What's your excuse? You can use that as an excuse or a justification. You're justifying, or that's going to be a motivation. I used to drink a lot too. Okay, but I chose not to drink anymore. So, you know, I hardly drink now. I chose different. I chose better. So we have the ability to choose, and don't become take responsibility for your actions. You know, like who cares if you're 20, 15, 60, or 80? Hey, take responsibility. And if you decide to take actions towards it, great things can happen. So
I agree.
That's what I think, you know. So life is beautiful if you choose to see the beauty in it. Because if you choose to complain, anything will be good, you know. To anything. If you choose to complain, anything's a good excuse. But like, I read this. I'm not sure I think it was Theodore Roosevelt. This quote: "Wherever you are, do your best with whatever you have." Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose that. So what do you have right now? Do your best with whatever you have, and be grateful with that. So it's easy to complain, but it's more easier to take action and do something about it.
It's easy to complain and it's easy to quit.
Right.
That's the easy. That's the easy way out.
But you know what? Quitters never win, and winners never quit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it has a lot to do with perspective too. Like you have to look at things from not that negative mind space, like that, you know, this is gonna go wrong, this is all gonna go to shit. Why don't you look at the positive things? Like, what if it does hit? How beneficial would that be?
Right. Well, when you're faced with a challenge, what do you tell yourself? What if it doesn't work? Oh, this is not working out. Well, I learned to trick my mind to say, well, what if it works?
Yeah.
What if I do get approved? What if I do get this? What if it does work? What if I do get the food truck? I don't have any, because people focus, oh, well, that's my reality. Who cares what your reality is? My reality, I was broke. I had no credit, bad credit. You know, like people say, oh, you need to have money in the account, a bank account. I had no bank account. So what? You know, like, if you have cash, you don't need a bank account. Well, yes, you do, but if you're coming from nothing, you just need to
you need to build yourself up
right,
to that.
Right.
So you didn't use any of those obstacles, you know?
Yeah, no, none of that stuff. You have no bank account, so what? You have no girl, so what? You have no support, so what? You have no credit, so what? No bad credit. Okay, like those are the excuses. That should be your motivation because you don't have none of that stuff. Hey, well, because I used all that to get me out of there because I was really, really bad, and over 30 years old, and I couldn't be hanging out. I couldn't be drinking beers on the weekends when I was broke. No, I couldn't. I couldn't be going out like no. I couldn't be wasting my time. For me, it was wasting time in a barbecue when everybody was hanging out. I said, you know what? I could be using that time to be learning to get me out of that situation. So I used that time wisely.
But I think that's the issue with
nowadays.
Nowadays,
because it's easy, it's comfortable, it's cool. You don't want to be weird. Like, oh, I don't want to go to. I want to hang out because I'm stressed. Why? Because you work for a week. You work 40 hours and you're stressful. No, with all due respect, but
no.
But we have to be
true.
straightforward, though. Like when I was opening my business, I was working nonstop from going to the mercado in the morning, going to buy everything, going to set up the shop, cook, and be there all day for 10, 12 hours, then clean up the truck, wash the truck, and go back home. And then the next day do the same thing. And the same.
But that is what separates elite versus average. That's what it is. Going the extra mile.
Right.
Doing things and working really hard while other people are just hanging out, shooting the shit.
Right.
That separates people. And I don't think successful people are successful by coincidence.
True.
It's a lot of hard work, a lot of bullshit that we got to go through. Excuse my language. But it's
a lot.
It's
from
a lot.
From everybody. From
all angles.
But the difference is, what are you telling yourself?
Yeah.
And are you believing those lies?
To me, I choose to wake up grateful and know that the path that I have chose comes with a lot of, it's gonna come with a lot of stress. And I'm okay with it.
Right.
Because now I know that my purpose is clear for me, and I get to enjoy it. So I'm like, fuck it, it's gonna come with bullshit. And I understand. I embrace it, but I'm ready every day.
There you go. That's the right mindset.
Absolutely.
Congrats.
Thank you. One question before we end this. That cousin of yours, no names, what does he say now?
Believe it or not, he asked for a job a few months ago. Yeah.
Okay, wait. I'm not laughing at him. We all need a job. But I'm just like, don't criticize people.
Right.
When they're down. Don't kick them while they're down. Because you never know what that individual is going to become. And when you might find yourself in a down situation, it's easy to kick people while they're down.
Right.
So don't fucking do it, because he might end up owning 11 Teddy's Tacos. And you might need a fucking job one day. I've been the underdog my whole life. And, of course, people, man, I have a lot of those. A lot of those individuals. I mean, now I get invited a lot of places, I
bet. Well, you created something very nice.
And
congrats.
I'm like, but I will never kick somebody while they're down. Because it was done to me, and that's not nice.
Right.
So it makes me happy to hear this story and how all the trials and tribulations that you went through, and despite all that, you still made it. Okay. That right there is a testament that if you want something, if you truly want something, you desire it, and you want to fucking propel, there's nothing that can stop you except your fucking excuses.
Right. So,
boom.
There you go, guys.
We're really, I'm really excited. This interview was amazing, and I'm really happy for you. And I know that next week we're gonna, the truck is gonna roll up, and we're gonna eat some tacos here. And but keep up.
Thank you.
Great work, and I wish you nothing but success.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
All right, brother.
Same to you, and thank you for having me over.
Thank you. Boom. And we're out. Teddy's Tacos. Teddy's Red Tacos. Boom.
Take care, guys. Thanks.